So, so we've got a few more questions. Wow, this is going on for a while. So, which economic factor should you look at to measure how well a country and its people are doing? So, GDP is one. So, if
Yes.
you say a country's GDP has increased, that generally means a country is doing well.
In terms of economics.
Economics, yeah.
Economics, yeah.
Okay.
It's a good thing to look at to
Yeah.
get an overall view. However, I would say if you look at GDP, look at PPP, power parity purchase. Yeah.
Power parity or something like that. No,
Yeah.
so like
So it means that the GDP is adjusted to the price level of this country. So for example, let's say bread in UK is £10, then bread in another country, in Bolivia is £2. However, GDP in UK is 40,000, there is 10,000. It's less, but with that money, they will buy more in Bolivia than they would buy in UK. So it means that the prices are maybe lower, but the standard of life might be not as low as the number is indicating. So that's a bit adjusted. So I'd say to look at that. But there are many other factors and many other measurements to look at. And then one is HDI, Human Development Index, because it has three indicators in total. So GDP, or like the income, is one. Life expectancy is another one, and after that they have the literacy rate, which helps to look at the social side as well, which is really important and tells how developed the country is. So let's say a country that's not very high in GDP, Cuba, it's I think in 50 something place like that in for HDI. Again, they don't have high GDP, but they have high life expectancy compared to.
they have a lot of doctors in
Yes,
Cuba.
yes.
There's a lot of doctors
And
there.
education.
So,
So,
I was talking to my dad about it. They have really bad cars, and they still have horse wagons.
oh, you see, they're stuck in time. So, but again,
The
that's
sanctions part of that is down to the sanctions and the US not wanting to deal with them. I think Cuban cigars, they were sanctioned for a long time, which is hilarious. But yeah, so you got any other economic factors worth looking out for, like median income or income inequality? Or,
income inequality. Definitely, it tells because again, going to GDP, if the income inequality is high, it means that many people are poor, getting less money, and just a few are very rich.
also, the factors that kind of some people put out are GDP being a really important one, are the unemployment rate and the stock market. So, what do you think the pros and cons of looking at those three things are?
So unemployment, definitely, because if many people are without jobs, it means that they don't get a income. But again, if the social system is working and people that are unemployed get some money, this is a bit better. So social side is important.
So, but what about, say, if unemployment has been lower historically, but the economy's still done well because before in households you don't need two parents or two people to work in the same household. One person not working, so technically that person's unemployed, but because the other person is making enough money,
Yeah.
they don't. You know what I'm saying? They don't have to be employed.
Yeah, yeah.
That makes sense. So you can say that unemployment was higher in historic periods, but because the economy was doing so well and people's wages were so well compared to the cost of living, you didn't need to work. If you see what I'm saying, one person didn't need to work, or they only had to work part time. So in that case, surely unemployment is not the best metric to look at if you think about those sorts of things.
Yeah, might be, but I would say nowadays it plays a role because mostly both people work.
Most people, yeah,
Yeah.
because they have to, because the economy is clearly not the best.
Yes, and the way that the social life is now. So, for example, in Western world, all the equality and
Yeah.
among the gender, like man, woman, everyone is working.
Women aren't expected to stay at home as much
Yes.
anymore. That stereotype is slowly dying, thankfully. So what's the other one? The stock market, that's one Trump's always touting, but then he never talks about when the stock market is lower. Is that metric worth looking at?
Stock market, yes, you can see how much does a share is worth of any company in your country. So let's say if your country's companies are have a high price for the share, it means that they're doing well. If the share goes down, it means that maybe the country doesn't have that much demand, maybe they don't make that much money, so they need it means something is going wrong, yes, with the economy.
So is that one worth looking at, or do you think
I won't really look at that one. I would prefer unemployment.
unemployment?
Yes,
Okay.
not prefer, but
I can't remember what the third one was. No, that was all three of them, wasn't it?
yeah.
GDP, unemployment, and stock market. So
Happiness index. But people
Big
see,
up Norway, happiest country going.
yes,
Or I think it might be Finland. I can't remember which one it is. They rotate,
yes, it's one of them. But
but,
basically, they look at how happy people
but
are.
they don't want the other country to be upset, so they let them
Yeah,
take
yeah,
the
and
lead.
it's interesting to see some countries that we perceive as poor being in the top.
There was a UFC belt where they made it like the baddest guy belt, and
Yes.
there's some other guy saying we should have a nice guy belt, and one guy saying, look, if we ever do this, yeah, I'll hold the door open for you.
Yeah.
So as I say, like, they let each
Yeah.
other rotate to keep each other happy, but
Yes.
it just depends. I think on certain days when you talk to certain people, how happy they are.
Yes, and because poor might be that you're not, but you're happy. So what we
Yeah,
perceive
that's
poor
true.
might be different to
That's
people in that
a thing
country.
where Western countries suicide rates are very high, but in some of the poorer countries, GDP wise,
Yeah.
suicide rates are much lower.
Yes.
Because they're much more satisfied with life. Because obviously life isn't just about money; it's about personal fulfillment.
Yes. Yes.
And so maybe they feel that more. There's less pressure, maybe,
Yes.
societally, or for whatever reason. I don't want to put anyone down, but living in a country where there's less societal pressure is a lot easier than living in one where there's a massive societal pressure on,
Yes.
doing things at certain times. My mum talking to me about getting married, I was like, what the hell are you talking about? There's societal pressure, and
Yes.
there's not that much stress on you if it happens all the time, which
Yeah.
thankfully it doesn't. But
Yes.
if you're lucky enough to have such a parent, I'm sorry. So